take advantage of it this time around. It's Gerard going the other way. He goes wide with all the speed.
You're not going to catch him.
Look out!
He's
Touchdown!
Dave Gerard, 19 yards. That's exactly what speed will. The following is a CTV 30 sports presentation. Hello, everybody, from beautiful, partly cloudy, but nice and breezy and nice fall-like weather. Winthrop High School. Winthrop Ramblers, the home team today, hosting our Old Orchard Beach Seagulls. Winthrop comes in with a record of 2-3. Old Orchard just keeps rolling on here at 4-1. Waiting anxiously on top of the hill this week. Not on a bus and not anywhere bad. We got a great location this week. Is Roger Painshaw. Mark Pickard is our videographer. My name's Andy Poirier. We're here for Coach's Corner. And then all of a sudden,
against the Booth Bay team, who has some dangerous weapons, especially when a passing team like them, you know that they can go on top and get in the end zone, and that happened. But fortunately, because we have some good senior leadership and some upperclassmen who really committed to winning, we turned that around at halftime. They became more focused. We started running the ball. Dave exploded again. Line gave him some great holes. We had a trap game going there with Jimmy Bickford pulling, getting the defensive end. It was just smash mouth football, and then we applied some pressure defensively, and we turned it around fortunately. But we're going to have to guard against coming out and repeating the same first half performance this week.
Getting back now to this week, you're facing a 2-3 Winthrop team who was, after last night, we're going to talk about in a minute, where Madison lost to a previously undefeated, I believe. Madison lost to Jay. As we speak now, the night before, this opens up a whole new can of worms, I think, for a team like Winthrop.
Yeah, well, you're going to see the same game plan you saw a couple weeks ago from Livermore Falls. Winthrop likes to run the football, and they run the football just about probably 90% of the time, and they have a couple good backs. A boy named Blanche, a boy named Jason Bernia, small, quick. They run a power ride backfield, 2 tight ends, and they're just going to run at you. And they're telling you that this is what we're doing. We have a couple good linemen. You need to stop us. So that's exactly what we're gearing up to stop today, is that inside run game. We can't let Winthrop get first down after first down. And yes, Winthrop is alive for the playoffs. They're competing for that 4th spot. There's a variety of teams that it's open to right now. So Winthrop's a hungry football team today.
And is there a danger, or would you say, on this level of sometimes maybe kids, you got Lisbon and Madison home. Those are 2 big games. I'm sure those 2 games on the schedule that you've been looking forward to coming up at home. Danger of maybe looking past this game?
No, not at all. The meat of our schedule is this Winthrop game, Lisbon game, Madison game at the end of the schedule. Our kids will have no problem getting up for this game. They know that they have to get it done today. They're not looking ahead to Lisbon or Madison. We're concentrating on Winthrop today because we know that they are dangerous.
Now, we're getting to the part of the season where the games, you're in your 5th, 6th game of the season, and other teams I noticed are getting banged up. You're no exception.
Right. We have a couple kids that are dinged up. We have one kid out. Jamie Gittinger, our right tackle, will not play today. Should be good to go next week. Brian Tucci has a knee. Billy Adams has a knee. Ralph Dubois has an ankle. Dave Glode's still nursing a head injury. So, we're at full strength with minus Gittinger. But, at this point in the season, you need to pull out all your reserve energy and focus on some kids who might not get a lot of time. Those people have to come through for you, too, and fill some holes. And so we're not making excuses by any means, but we have to come together and collectively play well as a team today.
Well, as usual, we'll wish you luck this game. We'll hope the train keeps rolling along here. We're at 4-1 Beach against the 2-3 Winthrop Ramblers. And back now for the opening kickoff. Up on top of the hill, high above Winthrop High School field, is Roger Painshaw.
And we're looking at the scoreboard as it ticks its way down to whatever it is, 17 and 16 and 15. And we're also sitting here partially sitting. One is sitting, one is standing. We're on the top of the hill, looking down on the field below us here at Winthrop. And coming in over on the right-hand side is the Winthrop team as they slowly meander down towards the field. They're down there in the end zone now, and Mark is picking it up. Our videographer this afternoon, as we must mention, of course, otherwise he gets so temperamental, and we have to drive with him all the way back, is Mark Pickard. And Andy's already talked to the coach. My name's Roger Paincho at CTV 30, and we're going to have a lot of fun here this afternoon, we certainly hope. Kurt had some good stuff to talk about down there, I would assume, Andy.
Yes, he did. Talked a little bit about the game last week, how the senior leadership just kind of took over, Roger, in the second half.
Sure did.
After a poor week of practice and a poor first half, they kind of made up for things in the second half, and they showed us the team that, we're used to seeing out there, and that we should see week in and week out. We talked about this game a little bit. He compared, I think, this team, if I remember right now, it's been that long ago here, the pregame show, is maybe kind of like the Livermore Falls team is what we're going to be seeing here today. I think we're going to be a run-controlled offense, Raj, with Steve Maxim at quarterback. He likes to run the football. And also look for 34, Brad Blanche, and 33, a good running back, and Jason Bernier, a captain. Those are the names that we're going to hear, I think, game in and game out. They're going to try probably establish their game. And they're still in a playoff hunt, as we mentioned. They're 2-3.
2-3.
Very, very important game for them this afternoon. A few nicks and bruises here along the side of Orchard Beach. He mentioned the players in the pregame show. I can't remember them all. Brad Tucci, I think. David Glode, his name was mentioned. I think Gittinger.
Yes.
He's not going to be playing. So there's a few, bangs this time of year. Ralph Dubois is probably still playing out there with, some problems with his either ankle or knee. So, there's some injuries. This time of the year, I think, is common for that. And just hopefully he comes out of this thing healthy and play their football game and stay away from the mistakes they made last week in the first half. Because that can come back to haunt a team,
It sure can. In fact, I was talking to Ralph Dubois' mom a few moments ago before we came on. She was up here with us and mentioned that Ralph hurt his, I think it's his ankle. It might have been I think his ankle anyway in the phys ed class, So you just never know where those things and how those things are going to happen. But it happens, and he's already been banged up this year and last too, if I remember right. Ralph had a tough physical time last year. But anyway, here we are, and the Seagulls come in 4-1, I believe, right? With, as Andy pointed out, Winthrop coming in 2-3. The Seagulls looking very, very good. Just as a point of comparison, I think might be interesting. Last week we were at Booth Bay, a game which we will not soon forget for all kinds of reasons. But the Seagulls ended up winning that by a margin of 17 points. Winthrop has played Booth Bay and beat them by 20. So, this Winthrop team being at home and everything else going might still give the Seagulls all they want here today, especially when we talk about the injuries that are affecting the beach this afternoon. So we're looking for a good game here today. I just have a hunch. Whenever you go on the road, you're in somebody else's backyard, you just never know. And strange things happen in high school football.
Yeah. Before we get started, too, Raj, I think I'd like to give some thanks, though, to the athletic director here, Jeff Dubois.
You said it.
Did a real nice job. If you're not familiar with our location, you may see some heads going by here and there, because we are located on top of a pretty steep hill looking down, which is better vantage point than we had 2 years ago. Maybe eventually Mark can pan off to the shack that we were by the scoreboard that we were on, that one that Roger's leg is still implanted up there. They got a plaque of Roger's leg still on the
that little
side
one
of the booth.
there, that's right, with the guy standing in front of it. That's where we were 2 years ago.
A place where my son still laughs about 2 years later.
That's right, because he saw me fall off the ladder going up that thing, and he's been laughing for 2 years.
And so basically, we were there 2 years ago, and that was a horrible view because we're looking up over the team, and the angle was poor. So we have a booth that's right directly also in front of us on the 50-yard line, and there'll be somebody standing on top of that. So here in and here out, you're going to see some heads going by, but I think it's better than a couple trees. Anyway, a couple bodies going by or two big trees in your way. Take your pick.
Yeah.
I'll take the bodies going by.
I'll take the bodies. Well, last week was a real adventure.
Yes.
And if those of you who saw the game, and I hope some of you did, you can imagine the fun that we were having.
Well, we saw part of the game, too.
Yes.
Yeah, we were there. But, I was telling somebody at work the other night, it was the first field that we ever went to where we needed a hunting license to do the game from. That's how bad it was.
Well, we were told before the game to look out for the muskrat. There was a wild muskrat out there eating and stuff.
I was wondering where my 2 hot dogs went at the
Right.
top of the bus.
And you just never knew what was going to happen next. It was great fun. Last night, this being a Saturday afternoon, obviously, but last Friday night, this Madison team that has been sort of like sitting around in second place behind the Seagulls got upset and dropped one to Jay. And that sort of scrambles the standings a little bit. Be interesting to see how it all comes out at the end of this week. But Madison, of course, will be coming into the beach in 2 weeks from today. Next week, Lisbon.
Got a pack of wild dogs coming in.
Yeah,
You got greyhounds and bulldogs coming in.
That's right.
Be a dog fight.
It'll be a dog fight. And it'll be interesting to see just how that all plays out. But if the beach can remain successful, of course, we're looking to a lot of home games in the next few weeks, which is going to be certainly to their advantage and ours. We don't like to travel.
No. But, you know, this was one of a worst place to come to do a game. But this isn't really, this is a nice, the AD was nice enough to set us a spot here. And, you know, you got to give him credit for that because everybody kind of takes over this hill. And he was nice enough to set us a spot up here, so at least we could get some kind of a camera vantage point.
Sure.
So I really appreciate it for that. Plus, it's one of my favorite places to eat on the road.
Oh, yeah. And, boy, we can vouch for that.
Yeah, and I think I've already spent my Christmas club eating here.
Yeah, well,
before the game.
We were still out. The car was still moving. Hadn't come to a complete stop, and Andy was already in the booth, and he had knocked off 2 hot dogs in the Coke.
Once we hit the Augusta Toll, you could smell the onions from there, so I knew we were getting close.
That's right.
Scott Darling.
The beach is getting introduced now.
At quarterback, number 22, Donald Dubois.
Yep. We've got...
Fullback, number 33, Captain Ralph Dubois.
Who's out there? Jimmy Beckford is out there. And
running back, number 13, Captain David Gerard.
Speaking of David Gerard, Raj, as the whole league is speaking of him, some stats in Western C. Kurt handed me a sheet, you know, updated stats as of yesterday, or this week, their latest stats. Dave Gerard leads the Western Class C with 1,033 yards rushing in 5 games. So that averages out to 200 yards a game with 10 TDs. He leads also in TDs. The next boy is a watch from Lisbon with 764. You say, well, that's, you know, 300 yards difference. But also, Gerard's had 3 less carries than that guy.
Really?
Yeah, he's had 111 carries, where Watts has had 114 to make those 764 yards.
Amazing.
Passing-wise, Don Dubois is ranked 2nd in yardage at 338 yards, 3 TDs. Dave Gerard is also among the leaders in receivers, Raj, 7 with 194 yards. He's also 1st in scoring with 81 points. And he's also 1st in interceptions with 3 interceptions, Raj, for 30 yards, 10 yards on the average. So basically, he leads a lot of categories here.
Fantastic. He's having a great season.
He really is.
We've got to remind ourselves there's been a number change, a uniform jersey change that we'll keep reminding ourselves about. That Billy Adams is not number 84 today. He'll be number 40. So we'll keep that in mind. A little delay here because they were introducing seniors, I guess, and on the football team and senior cheerleaders, and they were all running around handing flowers to their folks and stuff. So that slowed things down a little bit here as we get ready to start this thing. And we're now introducing the Winthrop team.
This is a 2:30 start. Also, we want to mention people in the afternoon because basically there was SATs, I believe, in the school. So that's why we're getting a later start than normal. But it's a nice day. It's overcast, a little cloudy.
Yeah.
The forecast has been for rain earlier in the week, but that's going to hold off till probably Sunday. And the temperatures are mild for this time of year. We're getting a little bit of a breeze as we always do up here.
No complaints about the weather. It may chill up as the afternoon wears on, and we will be here into the late afternoon, so things may get a little colder by 4:30 or so. But still, at this point, it's a pleasant day. And now, finally, the captains are all coming out to the middle of the field, and we will be ready to get this going in just a couple of seconds, I would hope.
Yeah, this is one of the fields also. If you look around, there's no light, so they don't play
No night
their night
games
games
here.
up here. And you just, thank God it's not daylight. I mean, daylight savings area, because if this was a late start like this, we could be looking into darkness
Yes, indeed.
later in the afternoon.
Well, just thinking in terms of the other classes, Andy, I guess Class A still moves along pretty much as everybody expected. South Portland is racking them up fairly easily at this point. And,
Yeah.
Lawrence looks good up north.
Up north, yeah.
Bangor may still make some noise before it's over. But those seem to be the teams. Biddeford had a big night last night against a lesser opponent in Bonnie Eagle.
Right.
And the Biddeford Thornton game looks like it could be a real barn burner this year, right?
That's one of those games that go either way any year. But sure enough, this year, I know TA is playing as we speak at home against Massabesic. Their homecoming. They could go into the Biddeford game with 2 losses. The game is in Biddeford this year, and Biddeford only has 1 loss going into that game at Bonnie Eagle. So that'll be mainly for playoff jockeying position, plus bragging rights, for the season. You never know; they could hook up again in the playoffs.
They sure could.
That's a good possibility. And they always put on a good show.
Wells in Class B was a big winner last night.
Huge winner.
Again, a lesser opponent.
Freiburg, I believe.
Freiburg, yeah. But I guess the story in Class B is what, Mountain Valley?
Mountain Valley, yeah. We thought maybe it would be between Leavitt, Mountain Valley, and Wells, and I gave Wells the edge, but Mountain Valley, I guess, showed Wells a thing or two.
Sure did.
But season's not over. They could meet again in the playoffs. Well, it looks like Mountain Valley and down here.
Yep.
Or Wells. Never know. Okay.
And here in Class C, of course, the beach looking very tough. And Stearns in the Northern Division. Dominates as usual. So it could very well end up a Stearns and Beach finale, but we're a long way from that point.
Long way.
And just sort of looking ahead, trying to look into the crystal ball a little bit, try to figure out what's happening. But it's another good season of high school football, a lot of fun. We're having a great time doing it, no matter where we are, whether we're sitting on top of a hill or sitting on top of a bus. Doesn't really make much difference.
My family's affiliation with Stockholm Biddeford Savings Bank goes back at least 100 years. My grandmother made deposits at the bank, including one from me when I was born. Our family has done business with the bank for over 4 generations. Why? Because Stockholm Biddeford Savings Bank is a very human place. One is not a mere account number, but a person treated with respect and appreciation.
We all have choices, and Ben's Flooring has been the choice of many for all their flooring needs and more. And now, more than ever, because the Trustmark carpet selection system has come to Ben's Flooring. This system, emphasizing style, budget, and practicality, will help you make the right decision in choosing your new carpet. At Ben's Flooring, carpet selection is simple and pleasurable with the aid of a trained Trustmark salesperson to help you select a carpet you can feel good about. Have a happy Trustmark shopping adventure at Ben's Flooring.
Quality product and superior service is what you'll always find when you visit Deering Lumber for all of your home building and garden needs. Located at 14 Elm Street in Biddeford, they feature one of the area's finest selections of lumber, paint, windows, and hardware, as well as a wide selection of lawn and garden products. For over 130 years, it's been quality products and dependable service that stand behind the name Deering Lumber and make them a favorite. Stop in today and look over the outstanding selection. You won't be sorry.
Hey, the beach kicks off, Rod.
Yes, it do.
Left
they
to
sure
right.
Do.
They're wearing their white visiting jerseys for hopefully the last time in a long time.
Yeah.
And the gray, silver pants with the helmets. And Winthrop's in their home green, the Ramblers from Winthrop. Green and white. And we mentioned this is a real big game for these guys because they've got a chance to sew up some kind of a playoff spot, I would think, with a couple games remaining after this. So this is a big one for them. They're coached by, I think Chris Kempton is still their coach.
Yes.
If I'm not mistaken, he
has
been here.
Matt Brown.
Okay, Matt Brown.
Head coach.
Chris Kempton used to be.
Yep.
And I hadn't taken a look at the program. That was my fault.
Well, we're ready to go, and Jerry Hubbard gets his foot into the ball, and we're off and running here, literally.
That's the Bernier kid,
He
Jason
sure is.
Bernier.
Gets it out to about the 27-yard line, and that's where Winthrop goes on offense for the first time this afternoon as the sun breaks out a little bit here. This is very nice.
Yeah, it's actually very comfortable. You mentioned, though, being here in the past, it gets colder as the afternoon
Sure does.
wears on. But
Top
right
of the
now,
hill.
we'll take the sunshine.
Okay, 1st and 10 for Winthrop as they come out in a power I. Hand off to the tailback. He'll get a couple. Pile it out to about the 30.
That was Bernier, I believe. Jason Bernier.
Jason Bernier, number 33. The
Gain of
quarterback.
about
Go ahead,
2.
kid. Yep. Quarterback is Steve Maxim. That's the kid running back from the bench with the play. He's number 16. So those are the names that we'll be probably calling most of the afternoon. Let's get familiar with them right away. Jason Bernier, the tailback. Steve Maxim, the quarterback. And there'll be others, of course. Now it's the first back through. It's full back.
Oh, we got a fumble, Raj, I think.
And the Beach have recovered at the 30-yard line.
I think it's
Scott Darling.
Oh, yeah, Darling.
Scott Darling right at the 30-yard line. And the Beach gets a huge break early here in this game with 11:16 on the clock. So with 44 seconds having ticked off, Seagulls go on offense. 1st and 10 at the Winthrop 30-yard line.
Winthrop, I want to remind you, too, that watching the Booth Bay team last week, if you want to make a comparison, they shut Booth Bay out 20-0.
That's right.
Earlier in the season.
Don Dubois, the quarterback, out of the wishbone. Brother Ralph gets the ball, moves upfield for about 4 yards. Back there with Ralph and Don, of course, are David Gerard, number 13, the gentleman that we were talking about so much earlier, and his running back, co-captain Todd Polk, number 12. And those 4 young men have made up the offensive backfield for most of the season, except when one has been injured or ineligible or whatever. Anyway, they're all here today in relative good health, some better than others. Polk tries to come back, gets down to about the 25 where he stopped, and we're looking at a 3rd down and about 5 as he picks up maybe a yard, 2.
That was only by second effort. Looked like he was going to be stopped on the left side of the line that time as he managed to break through for a yard. It's going to bring up a 3rd and about 5.
Gentleman who recovered that fumble, Scott Darling, is the center. We'll get to the other lineman in a moment. Gerard tries to find a hole. There's nothing there, Good defense as Winthrop rises up and stops David after a gain of a couple, or maybe even a yard. We'll call it 4th and a long 3. Closer to 4. 4th and 4.
That time they waited till 3rd down to give Dave Gerard the ball. And I think Winthrop, as every other team, is going to start keying on Dave Gerard, as they have the whole year.
Of course.
It's going to be bring up a 4th and about 4. Need to get right to the 20-yard line, I believe.
Still coming out of the straight wishbone. Nothing fancy. Donald will look to throw. Has time. Heads for the corner. Looking for Jerry Hubbard, but it's a little overthrown and also very, very well defended down there, as Maxim was down there with Hubbard. And that is the end of that particular threat. So Winthrop will go back on offense at their own 24-yard line.
Yeah, as history finds itself, you're going to know that if Winthrop has scouted, I'm sure they have the Beach. You got to catch the Beach early. This is a team that gets better as the game goes on.
Yep. They'll wear you down.
They'll wear you down. So if Winthrop's going to stay into this football game, the first half is going to be a very important half for them.
Will Toll splits wide down the bottom of your screen. Now he comes back up. Maxim on a keeper. This is designed, and he's hit and dropped for a loss. Todd Polk comes up. Billy Adams is around the play. Brian Tucci in there as well. And we've got a loss of a yard.
We mentioned about Maxim. He becomes a 3rd running back there because in the Booth Bay win, Raj, he rushed for 98 yards in that football game. And for like 26 carries. So he does like to run the football
26 carries, right. Okay. Well, we're looking at a 2nd and 11, and let's see if they decide to go to the air. Again, Toll splits wide at the top of your screen this time. And again, he comes back to the play. The tailback will get a few. That is Jason Bernier, I believe. And the ball comes out to about the 28.
About 4 yards.
Yep, we'll make it a 3rd and 6.
3rd and 6, and we mentioned this is a running football team. Stat-wise, Raj, Maxim's only thrown 19 times all season long. He's only completed 4 for 92 yards, so this is not a passing team.
This is not a passing team.
This is a team that doesn't want to go 3rd and long.
Right. And there's the handoff again, and there's nothing happening. Again, the defense of the Beach there to react. Adams again down there with a bunch of other folks, and the ball will get to about the 30, set up a 4th down and 4. It's a punting situation for the Ramblers. The Ramblers.
That's exactly what the Ramblers don't want to do, and the Beach is trying to force them to go 3rd and long, so it takes them completely out of their game plan.
Polk and Gerard drop back deep for the Seagulls. The punt is, well, there it goes. It'll be Gerard, picks it up, comes back upfield, gets a block, and drives forward for a nice return. Over the 50-yard line, he's down to the Winthrop 43. And at that point, we may have a little problem here with some folks like sort of are in our way. But that'll be the one spot on the field where Mark is going to have to sort of work his way around those folks standing on that booth in front of us. But Mark says piece of cake.
Compared to last week, anything's a piece of cake.
Compared to the tree.
Mark could...
Dubois comes back. Nothing there. Stop. No gain. Maybe even a loss of a foot or so. As Don tries to come up with something, there's nothing happening. It'll be 2nd and 10 or maybe even 11.
Absolutely nothing there, and so far the Ramblers have done good at the line of scrimmage.
Very
They
strong.
things up right there at the line, and once the Beach gets in that secondary, though, I have a feeling they're going to go a long way. If they can just break the plane right now, as Winthrop seems to be bottling up the line of scrimmage.
Yep. Well, we're going to try off tackle a little bit, and David Gerard will get maybe 2 or 3. But these are tough yards here that the Seagulls are trying to pick up. They get down to the 41-yard line, looking at a 3rd and maybe 7 or 8.
Yeah, 3rd and long, and maybe the linebackers now will spread out a little more. They're all in close. They're trying to stop everything right, freeze at the line. That could open up the passing game a little bit.
Glode and Gittinger are the guys that tackle on one side. We've got Hall and Bickford on the other side, and we've got a flag. Somebody moved. It's usually against the offense in this situation. And it is procedure call of some sort, and we're going to walk off 5. And we'll be looking now at a 3rd and about 12. Ball comes back down to about the 46-yard line. We're still in Winthrop territory. This entire first quarter so far, half of it gone by, has been played on the Winthrop side of the 50.
Yeah, I mentioned the time, Raj, approaching the 6-minute mark exactly here coming up. To go in quarter number 1. And Winthrop, nothing, and the Beach, nothing.
On a 3rd down, Don, look at the throw. He's going to go straight downfield. He's got a beautiful catch and a beautiful throw. Jerry Hubbard at the 20-yard line and a big 1st down.
Yeah, no flag, so they can move the chains up. Beautiful throw that time by Dubois. Good positioning by Hubbard, too, on the defensive player.
That's right. He was right. He stayed in front of the defensive man. That ball could not be intercepted. Couldn't even be batted away. And Hubbard was right there, made no mistake. We're down to the 19-yard line, and the Beach has got great field position for the 2nd time in this quarter. See if they can take advantage of it this time around. It's Gerard going the other way as he goes wide with all the speed.
Yeah, they're not going to catch him.
Look out!
He's
Touchdown!
Dave Gerard, 19 yards. That's exactly what speed will do right there. Defensively, they could have easily caught up to the average runner, and there was no way Dave Gerard was going to be stopped on that play.
Well, a big 19-yard run as Gerard goes wide, and you give him that kind of space, there's absolutely no way anybody's going to catch him. Dave makes his cut, heads into the end zone. It's 6-0, and the Seagulls strike. See what they do for a conversion. Looks like a 1-point attempt. And it also looks like it's going to be Parker making that attempt. Kick is up. It is good. Well, we've got 5:39 remaining in the first quarter, and our score here from Winthrop. The Seagulls 7, Winthrop zip. Andy and Mark and I will be back with the remainder of this first quarter right after this pause.
In this election season, you've heard what the others promise. Now let us tell you what we guarantee. Variety. Yes, we have something for everyone. Just look. And all at low prices. Sorry, we can't do anything about the taxes. Full employment. And we strongly support the community. Remember, if you're looking for a party to join, come to our campaign headquarters. We promise to satisfy you.
Kids, pets, odors, spills, the list is endless. But with ServPro Cleaning Service, your house can be spring fresh year-round. With carpet, furniture, wall, and in-house drapery cleaning, insurance claim specialist, and odor removal, no job is too big for the technicians at ServPro. If dirt and cleaning are a problem for you, let ServPro take the worry out of your life and put clean, fresh happiness in your home. Bob's Exxon and Mini Mart, conveniently located on Elm Street in Saco, is also a state liquor agency. Bob's has a large variety of your favorite brands of beer, wine, and liquor. Whether you're planning a last-minute party, get-together, or just a quiet, relaxing evening at home, Bob's has just about everything you need. Sandwiches, snacks, soda, chips, and your favorite alcoholic beverage. Stop at Bob's today and get your get-together together. Bob's Exxon and Mini Mart, there for you.
Animal crackers next to Jurassic dinosaur cookies, gumballs and Mary Jane's next to Nintendo bubblegum. Penny candy everywhere. Are you in the Twilight Zone? No, you're at the Wayway store, where every day is a step back to 1929. Stop in and visit with Catherine and Peggy for all your everyday grocery needs and then some. And remember, a slower, kinder time. From penny candy to padlocks, dried beans to dolls with homemade outfits, you'll find it at the Wayway store. Step back in time at the Wayway store without leaving today.
That was nice, Andy, huh? Quick 7?
Quick 7, all set up by that 24-yard pass play from Du Bois to Hubbard.
Yep.
And I mentioned, too, just previously that, it could open up the passing game a little bit. The linebackers are playing real close, right? They're trying to bottle up that line of scrimmage.
Sure.
So somebody like Hubbard or somebody else coming out of the backfield could get some space out there. And it was actually pretty good coverage, but Hubbard seemed to use his body that time, shield off the defender.
Yes, very nice.
And good positioning, and Du Bois just laid the ball right in there beautifully.
Well, Jerry Hubbard, who made the big catch earlier, is now going to be kicking off. And it's away, floating down here.
It's a dangerous ball.
Yep, came back upfield, actually. Almost hit a Rambler, but we'll be down by Winthrop at around 32 or 3, and they'll take over from there. At the 32.
Yep, 32-yard line. No attempt for a run back that time. Bernier, one of the players who stands way back there in the kickoffs, has an 83-yard kickoff return. So he couldn't break him open. So It's good that they keep the ball out of his hands now and then. He's a speedster.
And off inside, again, nothing there. Just bottled up. Again, Adams is there, and Bickford is there. The gain is maybe a yard and maybe not even that. So we've got a 2nd and 9, let's call it.
What a great second half that defense had. That Bickford and C.T. Broderick and
exactly
getting all those guys in the front put on a great show last week in the second half, just being in the Norton's face the whole game.
Exactly. C.T. Broderick is 74. He's right, one of the down linemen. Oh, look at that hit. Look at that beautiful hit by Scott Darling.
Yeah, he's
popping in from his linebacker position, and he drops him for a loss of about 3.
I was just about to mention his name, too.
Yep.
He came up big also last week. Big hit, loss of a yard or 2. Bring up 3rd and long, and this is exactly where Winthrop doesn't want to be.
As you said earlier, exactly.
We're 4 minutes and 30 seconds to go in quarter number 1. If you just joined us, 19-yard run by Gerard, and the kick was good. 7-0, the Beach leads it.
And we're looking at a 3rd and 12 on another running play. Trying to find something, lead blockers, but just nothing there as the the beach collapses on him. Jerry Hubbard is there. Ralph Dubois is there. He picks up the 3 they lost in the previous play, but we're back to a 4th down and long, 4th and 8. And again, they're going to be forced to punt for the 2nd time this afternoon.
Yeah, this is also an offense that, you know, reminds me of the Winthrop teams we've seen here in the past. They'll lull you to sleep. They'll just kind of run the football at will. Whatever the down and the yardage is, they're just going to run, run, run.
That's right. Ooh, nice rush by Bickford. Doesn't quite get there. Polk, watching it roll, picks it up on a good bounce and tries to come up. We'll get to about the zone 37 or 8, and that's where the Seagulls will take over, and this will be the first time that Mark has to move the camera in the other direction. And we're going to be over on the Seagull side of the field.
Yeah, 3:37 left in the opening quarter. Interesting that time formation. Gerard was in to block the kick on the right side. Polk was the only back.
Only deep
deep back.
Yep.
As Gerard actually came pretty close and got blocked at the last second.
It's probably something they've been working on this week in practice or something, thinking that they, you know, maybe the kid gets gets off slowly on his punting, and they figured, well, maybe we can block one.
Well, who else better than putting the outside? And somebody like Gerard who can get in there probably quicker than anybody.
Now, Old Orchard Beach back on offense. They're down around their own 38-yard line. They use a one-back set, and it's Ralph Dubois, who is that one-back, who gets the ball, comes up for a couple. Not much else there. 2 boys split wide down here in that play, which is a little different. Both Gerard and Polk were wide down at the bottom of your screen.
It's a decoy play to open up the middle that time, putting a couple speedsters out to the right side. That way the linebackers are maybe looking the other way a little bit, knowing who's over there. And if they open a hole inside, he's off.
And Billy Adams is chucked into the backfield for the Seagulls. He'll be number 40, reminding you that that's a different number today. And he's in for Ralph. Now Donnie keeps the ball himself on the option and picks up another 2 or 3. We'll be looking at a 4th down, however. And the ball will be...
Actually be 3rd, I think.
Yeah, the line. You're right.
3rd and 5.
The guy holding up the stick on the other side never changed his number, and I was going by that. That was where I made my big mistake. Only my first mistake of the day.
You're allowed one a year.
Many more to come. This is 3rd and 4. Don pitches out. It's Gerard, and he slips.
Yeah.
And we've got a flag. Now, what is that all about?
I don't know. Polk was the only guy in front of him blocking, unless they called a hold or a clip or something on Winthrop, either one. Hold on.
It's holding on the beach. And that's a bad one.
Well, I don't know if, will they take it, because it'll be 4th and 5, right?
Good
4th
point.
and 5 from that spot, so I wouldn't back up if I was the beach too much, because they'll be forced to punt from there. I don't know if you want to give the beach another down.
It's declined, and so it'll be 4th and 5, you said, or 4th and a bunch. And the Seagulls will be punting from their own 40.
A loss of about 3, actually, on that.
So, Seagulls in punt formation. Jerry Hubbard does the kicking.
They're not really sending anybody deep back there. That's an interesting, I guess they're
Almost
not buying
like they're not buying it, right?
Well, nobody's back there right now.
He will punt, though.
I'm
Lot
getting
of
motion,
movement.
yeah.
Everybody moved.
Looks like they're going for the block.
Yep, they're going to walk 5 off for the Seagulls, so we'll be back to the 35 now and try it again.
Hubbard didn't exactly get a booming punt off, neither, that first time. They probably figure, well, if we don't block, at least we're not going to get bad yardage out of it. So sometimes it's worth the gamble. 2 minutes to go, and the clock moving in quarter number 1. We're in Winthrop, Maine, and the Beach leads at 7-0.
And Jerry gets it away. It is coming down here at about the Rambler 40. It takes a nice Seagull roll down to the 24-yard line. And that's just what the Seagulls had in mind.
Well, he gets a better punt off this time. Help of about a 10, 12-yard roll. And looks like Winthrop was not even content on even going after that football.
Left it alone entirely.
So the clock stopped. 1 minute, 36 seconds left in the opening quarter. And Roger, 2 home games, regular to wind things down. Lisbon at home, the Greyhounds, and then the Bulldogs from Madison will be in town.
Yep.
Both 1:30 starts, we believe.
Sounds about right. Out of the I formation, again the deep back, and there's just nothing there. Scott Darling, the first boy there. However, Bernier is, of course, Jason Bernier. He pushes himself ahead for another couple, but it's awfully tough to move against that tough defensive line that the Seagulls are putting up today, along with the good active linebackers.
Yeah, gain of 2. It'll be 2nd and 8. So far, Winthrop's worked this whole first quarter on 3rd and longs also. So I think 2nd down is going to be a very important down for this team.
Mm-hmm. Now they try the other side, and there they run into Billy Adams, and that was no gift.
No.
Adams waiting for him.
Don Dubois, yeah, came up and helped also. Bill Adams is he's really done great defensively also this year. Had a big pickoff last year that really opened that game up. Stepped right in front of Lorraine, I think it was, for Boothby last week, if you remember. There had been a play that had been worked all afternoon long, and Bill Adams just kind of put the lid on it.
Was that slanting pass with
exactly
coming back to the middle of the field, and Billy just stepped right in front of it. He had it.
That was the beginning of the end right there.
Yeah, it was. Well, we got that 3rd and long again that we've been talking about. And again, they're going to try to run it out of there, and look at that defense react. Billy is there again, Billy Adams, and who's the other boy getting up? And Scott Darling.
Scott Darling.
There you go.
What a nice first quarter he's having.
Well, they lose a little bit more, and it's called just about a 4th and 10. And that also is the end of the first quarter. We'll be back with the kick, the punt, which will begin the second quarter. And, of course, more great action here from Winthrop right after this message.
Tradition and Maine go hand in hand, and one tradition the locals enjoy is visiting Wormwood by the breakwater, Camp Ellis. Wormwood's has been a family affair for more than 50 years, serving up the finest and fresh seafood, certified Angus beef, as well as chicken and pasta dishes. Wormwood's enjoys making you feel at home with hearty meals, lighter portions for small appetites, and gladly accommodates those with special dietary needs. Visit Wormwood's. Become a part of the tradition. Fun that never stops, you'll find it at Soho's, your #1 stop for great tunes, great food, great drinks, great people. Soho's has got the longest happy hour, starting at noon till 8 every day. Monday night, football night with free chili, 99-cent drafts, and T-shirt giveaways. Thursdays, ladies' night with drink specials all night long. Saturdays, live music. If that's not enough, check out the new Munchies and best burgers in town and the Dart Leagues. Soho's, for all the action you could ever want.
When you need to stop, make sure it's an advanced brake service.
Our score is 7-0 here in Winthrop on the top of the hill.
Top of the hill. You know, prior to the game, Mark and I were doing our training for the Ironman competition.
Were you really?
Running up and down this hill. You didn't catch that?
Yes, I did. I was laughing a lot, and
Well, so was everyone else.
That's right.
But Mark had the equipment. That was just weight training we were using.
Well, I noticed as you were coming up the hill, and who was doing most of the equipment stuff.
I carried the heavy stuff. I had the mic
you
and
had
the cord.
You had one hand mic and a cord.
And Mark had the camera and the
tripod. Yep.
And I was using the steps, and he was just going up the hill.
Yeah, no. It was funny.
I feel 10 pounds lighter, though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I sold tickets, actually, up here to a bunch of folks just to watch Mark carrying the equipment running up the hill, and it was worth it. I made a few bucks. Well.
4th and long. 4th and very long.
It's 4th and long, 4th and about 10, and Winthrop will be punting.
I think we're going to hear that a lot this afternoon. 3rd and long, 4th and long.
The ball is down around the 24-yard line or so. So the Seagulls are going to come out of this with good field position. Nice punt, however. It floats up to the 50, make it a 49, and Polk gets another 3 or 4 out of that. And so the Seagulls back on offense and once again in Winthrop territory.
Yeah, good field position. You know, basically controlled this whole first quarter, and they're only up 7-0 right now. So Winthrop has to feel actually good about trailing this game 7-0, keeping the beach off the board.
You're right.
It's been 2 big plays. It's been the 24-yard pass play from Du Bois to Hubbard, and then the 19-yard run right after that play by Dave Gerard. But that's been it for offense. The rest of the game has been a defensive struggle.
1st and 10 for the Seagulls. They put Billy Adams in motion. Du Bois will pitch out. And trying to find something, still a lateral from Dave Gerard, but there's just nothing there. And flags flew as well. It'll go against the offense, I'm sure.
Yeah, Gerard just kind of pitched it to Adams, who looked up and said, who, me?
Yeah, you run for a while, Billy. But it looks like a holding call.
On the beach. He ran into that problem the whole first half last week. It was just a penalty-filled first half.
This is a situation, again, where Winthrop may decline the penalty, and they do. They had a good loss. And it'll set up a 2nd down rather than having to repeat 1st down. So it'll be 2nd and about 15, let's say. So that play went nowhere. Actually, we've seen some good defensive play here from the Ramblers. You know, they haven't been bad at all.
No, they haven't. If they just mount some kind of an offense now, they'd be dangerous.
Yep.
But anything can happen in a game like this. They're only 7 points down. The offense could feed right off the defense.
Sure. Adams is on the move. Handoff is to Ralph, and Ralph gets a nice gain, picks up the lost yardage and a little bit more. He'll get down to the 45 of Winthrop.
Pick up of about 7.
Yeah, we'll look at a 3rd down now in about 8 maybe.
3rd and 8, 11 minutes, opening minute here of the 2nd quarter. On a nice sunny afternoon here in Winthrop. Feels kind of nice on top of this hill.
3rd down, pitch out, and it's Dave Gerard. Goes inside, comes back outside. Now looks for a little room. We'll get to the 40. Short of the 1st down, of course. It'll be a 4th and 3 or 4. And interesting call here for the Seagulls. 4th and 4 at the opposition 40-yard line. Their offense not generating much.
Well, I think they're going to go for it.
I think they will too. I think I talked myself into it.
Good call, right?
Yeah, as I was describing it, I was telling myself, yeah, that's what they're going to do.
A lot less pressure up here to call the game, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. And they go for it. 4th down. It's Ralph right up the middle, and he'll get close.
He's close.
They're saying it's a go on the other side of the field.
It all depends what kind of a spot he gets also.
Exactly.
Oh, that's close. That's going to be a measuring.
Go. First down.
Okay, 1st down.
All right. Good call. Boy, I called that one, huh?
Oh, you did.
I showed you guys.
Coach of the week. Roger Pacer in the paper.
That's right. Absolutely. I just don't get any ink, though. You know, I just don't get any ink. The ball is on the 36-yard line. 1st down for the Ramblers. For the Seagulls.
Ralph Du Bois running real strong inside in this 1st half.
Now it's Gerard trying to find a little room. And as usual, week after week, everybody keys on Gerard. But somehow, in the course of the whole thing, he breaks loose. And the time is yet to come in this game, but I have a hunch it'll happen. He's picked up 19 earlier, and he gets a couple on this one, but he will bust one.
He's like those cars. He can go 0 to 60 in about 5 seconds.
That's right. Rankin. I used to have cataract. Now I have Rankin. It's 2nd down and 8. Du Bois looking to throw. Has time. Goes deep. Is looking for Tucci, who comes back, and it is incomplete.
Oh, good defensive play by Tucci. I think that ball was picked off, Roger. He kind of gave a little push to the back, and then the ball dropped out. So I credit Tucci with avoiding that interception.
It was thrown pretty much into a crowd. There were 2 or 3 guys down there. Actually,
Tucci had his man beat, by the way. The ball just never got there. Might have been a little bit of a breeze, too.
If Don had gotten rid of it maybe just a couple of seconds earlier, that could have gone, but...
you know, if this game gets boring enough, we got hill tumbling going on in front of us.
Yes, right in front of us. We have a bunch of little kids who are rolling down the hill. There goes one now. Holy mackerel. Don goes back to the air. This time it's for Gerard, and it is incomplete.
Yeah, interference.
flags fly. You know, it could go either way,
It could
though.
go either way. That's what I'm saying. This is not a for sure here because
Yeah. Is
I think there's a little
interference
pushing
again,
off
too.
on both.
Exactly.
It may even be on offense. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it could be called against David Gerard.
I think it was. That's what it is.
Yeah, it is.
From this angle, it looked like he might have pushed off a little bit.
That was on a third down pass that was incomplete.
It's the
You decline
yeah.
it, it sets up fourth down, so keep that in mind too, folks.
It's either going to be 4th and 9 or 3rd and like 19 or something.
Yeah.
It should be an interesting call.
Yep.
But that time, that ball was thrown really in double coverage. Tough place to throw the football. With 9:02 left, that's where it stopped. I think they're gonna take it.
Yeah, they're gonna walk it off. Well, it's 15. It's
Yeah, so it brings up what 24, 3rd and 24.
yeah, way back to the 49-yard line.
Well, actually, I think it is 10. 15, right?
Yep. Look,
Okay.
He walked off 15. So it's lost of down as well. Really?
I thought it was 3rd.
Then why were they even discussing it? There's no reason to even talk about it. It's automatic, isn't it? If you've got a loss of down that goes in with a walk-off, I mean, just walk it off.
Why wouldn't you take that?
Precisely. So it's fourth down and a lot, 25 or so, 24 according to the clock. And we're going to punt, it would appear. And we are, and a beauty. Hubbard.
Fair catch.
Fair caught down around the 10-yard line.
I understand now maybe why Winthrop had some players back there this time. If you're on this side of the field looking for the punt, you're looking into that sun. When it comes out, it was pretty bright, so they're probably not taking a chance on maybe fumbling the football.
Yeah, it's
be a possibility.
Exactly.
That sun was really bright earlier.
Let's set the ball at about the 14-yard line, guys, and we'll take it from there.
Yeah,
First
good.
and 10 of the 14.
Good punt by Hubbard,
Nice.
hitting them deep in their own end. And offensively, they haven't really been much of a threat.
And Maxim hangs on to the ball, and Maxim is dragged down on a nice play by Ralph Dubois, who caught him back around the 10-yard line.
Yeah, Maxim hung on to the ball, and Dubois hung on to Maxim.
That's right.
So a loss of about 1 or 2 that time. Boy, the linebackers are really shooting in, Raj.
Aren't they?
They're making the stops.
Yeah, getting it from Gar Darling and Ralphie and who's on the other, Billy Adams. And
Seems like the front line is just holding its own, you know,
Sure.
and the gaps are opening up enough for the linebackers to shoot in there and make the plays.
well, it's a second down and about 13 or 12. And Bernier busts out of there, still running. He's going to get the first down. Nice individual effort by Bernier, and certainly the best offensive effort of the afternoon so far by Winthrop. He just wouldn't fall. He had a lot of people hanging on to him, but kept on coming. Gets the first down out to the 27-yard line.
Yeah, gain of about, what, 14?
Yep.
Longest run from, actually, this is the most yardage they've had the whole game. I got them at 3 yards of offense so far, and that was a 14-yard run. So they're going to need the big play like that.
They split Will Toll down near the bottom of the screen, but he comes back again. They've done this consistently. Tailback is Bernier. This time he's found and dropped for a short gain.
We have a beach player down, Raj.
Yes, we do.
Toll had blocked somebody in the secondary, and that person is still down. Not sure who it is.
I don't know. Mark can't tell either, so we will all wait.
The clock stopped. 7:34 left to go in the first half. If you just joined us, the only scoring has been the 5:39 mark of the first quarter. It was a 19-yard run by Gerard, set up from a DuBois 24-yard pass to Hubbard. Parker with the pick, and that's where we stand, 7-0.
And with the boys still down, we got some time. I think it might be a good spot to take a timeout as well for us. So let's take a short break. We'll be back with more second quarter play right after this message.
Curl Up and Dye, a premier styling salon, keeps getting better and welcomes Jennifer to its crew of the finest professional stylists in the area. They offer full-service, ultra-modern hairstyling and coloring for men and women, facials, manicures, and waxings, and pride themselves on personal professional service. Let them help you decide what you need to look great. Private styling rooms, a convenient location, and the finest stylists offering service tailored to your needs. Sum up Curl Up and Dye. Why not make an appointment today?
Okay, we're back here at Winthrop, and Todd Polk was the injured boy, but he's getting up, walking off under his own steam, looking okay. Across the field as well, we're looking at some of the fans over there, and I think Markey found Kathy DuBois, who's the mother of the DuBois brothers, and lots of other folks over there. Pretty good crowd here all in all. Most of them are way down below us on the bleacher set up down here in front of us, sort of off to one side. Okay, we're back here with a second down situation, and a gain out to about the 33 or 4-yard line. Again, Bernier, the workhorse, does it all, or tries to do it all for this team.
Good tackle by Ralph DuBois. You know, if Ralph doesn't make that tackle, there's nobody there but a Winthrop Rambler blocking in front of him. Maybe during a stoppage of play, Raj, too,
yep.
Maybe we can take a shot of the hill and the crowd up here on this side later to show people what we're, you know, the route that we're at.
Feel of where we are. Okay, it's a third down. Bernier again, and again he is hit. I mean, he is stopped cold. Don DuBois, Parker, he fell over his own man, Ralph DuBois underneath, and that'll be the fourth down.
Well, 4th and 3, but at where they are, 4th and 2. You know, where the ball is, I would think they're going to be in punt formation.
They have to punt out of there, sure. They drop their punter back. And Polk is, no, he's not in the lineup. Don DuBois drops back deep along with Dave Gerard. And the ball is away. Gerard looks at it, picks it up, and starts to come back upfield. He's found and stopped. And that'll be that. So the Seagulls will take over possession again at their own 37-yard line with 6:08 left here in the first half, and the Seagulls on top 7-0. Yeah. Mark's going to take a little pan shot here and give us a feel of the folks that are... Smile, Roger, he says. I'm standing right next to this lens here as he comes across.
And I'm sitting.
Yep, Andy's down here next to me, and now we're looking at the fans.
That's
down
where the
below.
crowd usually kind of, you know, sits up. It's a nice place to watch a game from, actually, if you're a fan.
So if you're wondering where the folks were, that's where they are. And back to the field. Thanks, Mark.
Who wants to walk back up this hill?
Only Mark. The ball gets out to about the 40-yard line on a run by Ralph. And we're looking at a second down and 7.
And we're down to just under 6 minutes to go, halfway through this second quarter. You know, Winthrop's got to feel good about things. They've been able to do what they wanted to, I think, defensively. They've only given up one score. It's 7-0.
Yep.
And looking at the end zone flags, there's kind of a breeze blowing in the Beach's face right now. There's a little ribbons kind of hanging from the top.
Yeah, it gives us an idea where the wind is blowing. DuBois, Donnie looking to throw. He's got Jerry Hubbard. He wants Jerry Hubbard. He's got Jerry Hubbard. And Jerry makes a great catch down about the 32-yard line of Winthrop. His height and good hands made the difference in that play. He was double covered, one guy in front, one guy behind him. Jerry makes no mistake, however, and Seagulls move quickly downfield.
Beautiful play. Hubbard is hooked up for 2 big passing plays now. And speaking of Jerry Hubbard, we might have him and C.T. Broderick on at the end of the football telecast, as Kurt told me he may send those 2 players up to us.
That would be great. That would
we'll
be
see.
great.
Jerry's having a good first half.
Pitch out. Gerard, inside cut. All speed, breaks past for another one, and look out, still on his feet. Touchdown! How about that?
This is the same thing that happened in the first quarter. After a pass play from Hubbard, they set up the run, and it was a long run, and Gerard goes in all the way. Boy, I tell you, if you can just recycle that play.
Recycle that play. He stiff-armed a couple of guys on the way down. I mean, he just makes no mistake. The kid is something else.
And we have a Winthrop player down now.
Yeah, the kid has been doing the punting. And, you know, I've been looking for enough 44. Not that the folks at home care much who the guys' names are, I guess. But there is just no 44 on this roster, so I can't tell you who he is, unfortunately. And anyway, the Seagulls strike and bounce out on top now 13-0 at 5:06 left here in the second quarter. And we're holding as they talk to the down ball player. And the Seagulls make a couple of moves themselves.
Well, if you remember in the first quarter, with 5:39 left, Roger, just prior to that, Hubbard hooked up with a 24-yard pass, and then the next play was a 19-yard run by Gerard. Well, this one comes on another 24-yard pass. I had it.
Is that right?
Well, no, 18 and 15, excuse me. 33-yard pass play. And again, next play, Gerard goes in again from 32 yards this time.
Right.
And that comes at 5:06 of the quarter.
Right off the previous long pass play, they come back with a Gerard run for a touchdown. They do it 2 times in a row. Now they go for 2. David with the ball. Well, he's still moving.
And he's going to be in.
How about it? Yes.
I think he's in.
He is indeed. So Gerard gets 2 more, and the score now is 15-0. It's David Gerard 15 and Winthrop nothing. That's what it is. He's got them all, right?
Well, he's got every point but one. The kick was good, but
I forgot.
Got to give him a
okay. It's 14 Gerard.
That's 95 points
one for Parker
on the season, Raj. And the closest play was Watt from Lisbon, who has 54 points so far. So he's almost doubled in the scoring department. And we have a Seagull circling the field.
We have a Seagull.
Every time the beat scores, we bring him up.
And Mark's got him. Mark's got him. Yeah. Here we go.
We train him. We've trained him. Roger and I have been doing this for years.
It's the same guy, too. I recognize
him. Same one. We keep him in the Lincoln in the back. We don't let him out till the score.
He really loves my car, too. I can prove it.
Yeah. Look at the back windshield. Let me see Roger's car. Every time he scores, it's 7 times. All right, that's enough.
That's enough. Oh, man. What a great day. And the punters, the kick is away. Jerry Hubbard gets his foot into it. And Jason Bernier will be dropped at the 27. And again,
wow,
they find themselves deep in their own territory, somehow trying to get some kind of offense going.
I didn't tell him to bring his whole family along.
Yeah, the Seagull has called his friends, and they're all here now.
Too many Seagulls on the field. We're going to get a flag any minute.
They're hovering. I feel like the movie The Birds. Yeah, get me into a phone booth, please. Okay, 1st and 10.
I don't think they have them here.
Oh, no phone booth. They're out of the I formation. That injured ball player was down before, is back in, and look at that.
Dave Gerard.
Man. Dave Gerard said, come here. And Jason Bernier is dropped for
3 yards.
About 3. 2nd and 13.
Dave's just warming up, by the way.
Yeah.
Usually hit the Dave Gerard show in the second half, but he's already doing his whatchamacallit there, that thing there, the old soft shoe right now. He's starting in on that, just warming things up, getting ready. We need that kind of music while this is going on.
Second down. And Bernier bounces off people. The kid is tough.
He is. Gets to the line of scrimmage by the looks of it.
Gets knocked down a lot, though. It'll be third down and still 11 or 12.
Yeah, we got some players down. They're all getting up now, I hope.
Yeah. Can't afford to have anybody stay down.
No.
We've said that all year, and it's been true all year.
Yeah, Brian Tucci was on the bottom of that pile, getting up. He made also one of the boys doing the hit. So they gained the 3 that they lost. And again, they're third and long, 3rd and 10. They haven't even thrown a ball yet.
Number 7, I believe, Drew Salamanca's in the lineup for the Seagulls. He has played well in the past. Again, nothing happens.
No yards gained.
Fourth down.
4th and long, and that punter can't afford to be injured there. He's going to be kicking the ball a lot this afternoon.
He sure will.
3 minutes and 25 seconds to go, Raj, for the first half. And the clock moving. 15-0 if you joined us. 1 score in each quarter for the Beach, and they've both been by Dave Gerard.
Again, Polk has not dropped back. I don't think he's back in the lineup, in fact. Punt is away. It'll be Don Dubois picking it up, dropping it, and
he can't get up.
Down,
yeah, he's down.
The end of the play. So the Seagulls will have it back around their own 38 as they try to finish up the last 3 minutes of this first half with a fairly comfortable 15-0 lead. It's comfortable when you consider how little offense Winthrop has been able to mount here so far today. So if you're the Seagulls, you've got to feel pretty good about things, all in all. You got the one-back set, 2 boys split wide. Dubois calls signal, hands it to brother Ralph, and Ralph, still on his feet, gets out of there for a nifty little gain.
Yeah, good tough second effort by Ralph. Looked like he was going to be contained a yard away, and just broke through for another 3 or 4.
Bounces out to about the 44, looking at a 2nd and 6. Oh, sorry, 2nd and 4. Give him 6. And the clock works its way down. It's a nice spot over here because Markey can find that clock very easily. It's right there in front of us all the time, so you guys can see it just as well as we can, which is it's a nice feature for us this week, especially when last week we couldn't see a clock because of the tree. Pass is incomplete. Intended for Billy Adams coming across, but Billy never got there.
Hubbard looked like he might have been held, too, there, right in the middle of the field. Yeah, Ralph, I got Don Dubois at 2 for 5 yards for 57 yards. I gave him 33 yards in the last pass play because there's no, I forgot the line of scrimmage mark, but I figured it was around the 35-yard line where the pass was. 2 minutes and 16 seconds to go till halftime. And the Beach 3rd and about 4.
Wishbone and Dave Gerard held by an ankle, and that'll stop him. Had it not been for the ankle, though, he could have bounced for more. But anyway, we're looking at a 4th down now and about 5 or so, maybe 6.
Yeah, loss of 2.
Timeout called. I know that Mark back in the studio would love to be able to drop in another commercial or 2, so let's do that, Mark. This one's for you. We're going to take another quick pause, and we'll be back with more of this first half right after this.
A brand new gift shop. Gifts galore from Maine and beyond for every taste and budget. It's a Tissy the Tasket, rear 605, U.S. Route 1, Scarborough. In the past year and a half, the new Amanda Mays has established itself serving up the finest breakfast in the area, and with good reason. The freshest ingredients, big portions, small prices, friendly service, and great gossip combine to give your day a winning start. There are specials every day: soups, chowders, sandwiches, something for everyone, and it's all available for takeout. Plus, they cater any event. For a very pleasant dining surprise, try Amanda Mays, where good friends meet and make new ones.
Sometimes you just want to do the same old thing. When you need photocopies at reasonable rates, you want to visit Copy It again. Multiple copies, collated, stapled, or bound are no problem for Copy It's high-speed copier. Don't go anywhere else for copies up to 36 inches wide or for blueprints. But when you want some color in your life, go to Copy It. Copy It's full-color copier reproduces photos and artwork like you wouldn't believe and gives pizzazz to business documents. Whether you want the old or the new, go to Copy It for all your copy needs. Party Castles is where party people go so they can get their parties off the ground. Party Castles has party supplies for every celebration. From more than a rainbow tableware to streamers, personalized balloons, and balloon delivery, Party Castles will give your party a lift. And if your special wedding day is fast approaching, a visit to Party Castles will delight you. Janine can help you with wedding invitations, rental of the wonderful balloon arch, and the wedding bell. For the most festive parties and the most beautiful weddings, you've got to get to Party Castles.
We have 2 minutes and 1 second left here in the first half, and we're taking a look at the Seagull cheerleaders over on the other side. We'll be talking to those young ladies
next week, we hope.
Yeah.
So if they don't know, they know now.
You know now, girls.
Get ready. I'll
be
mentioning it to them after this game anyways.
Sure. We'll try to talk to all of them and maybe talk a little more to whoever the captains are and all that stuff and figure out who they are and why they do what they do. Come out and freeze every Saturday afternoon. So we will be speaking to cheerleaders next week, and happy to do so. It is 4th down for the Seagulls. And Jerry Hubbard drops back to punt.
Again, Winthrop doesn't send anybody back too deep. It's interesting.
Oh, that one bounces around.
That could be why right there.
But Jerry comes out of it and is dropped. And that's a break now for Winthrop if they can do something here with a minute and 54 seconds left. They have the ball at the Seagull 33, and it's by far their best field advantage they've had all day. But
well, the only thing bad about this, should say, well, for a lot of teams that would be
terrific,
a good thing. But they don't have the big play offense. They don't have the passing game, so they've got under 2 minutes to go. They need to establish something here. This would be a big, I think, score for them also.
Huge.
The Beach, I think, will receive also in the second half. So if they can get on the board here, it might give them some momentum in the coming out for the second half.
Out of the power eye, backs him to Bernier. Bernier hit and drop. What can I say, folks? I mean, it happens, right?
Well, we're not too far away from the place.
Oh, well.
I just thought maybe somebody got away.
They left one out.
I'm not even going to say a word. You know what I mean. It's a 4-letter word. It's not fun. Happy.
It's very happy.
That's fine.
Second down and 11.
And you know I still had soda in that can that he took.
I know that he took your soda. Oh,
I'm going after him. You take the rest of the game right here.
And there's a flag that flies.
Incredible.
I love football. I love doing these
You never
games.
know what we're going to encounter.
Oh, it's great. Absolutely great.
I had no clue what that was.
Don't know. We still don't know what happened. Mark's looking at me saying,
I think we know what happened. We just don't want to comment on it.
This character just walked in front of us,
and
making
made some weird noises.
Leaned down and picked up Andy's soda.
I think he took the wrong exit coming up
and
here. he went left when he should have went right.
Right. and he just kept on walking. He left with Andy's soda. Ah, man, I love it. We have another timeout on the field.
Well, I feel bad. If he needed it more than I did, then I feel that I've given.
Yeah. It's you got the right
same soda I just spit in one.
It'll be second down and 16 when we resume play down there. Oh boy. Mark's taking a shot of the fans over on the other side. This way, at least we can keep an eye out on who might be coming towards us, you know?
Yes, we need another camera up here.
Geez, if they start moving, let us know. We'll all jump in the car. God.
Second down and 16 if we gotten away from that a little bit.
Oh, good grief. Okay, Maxim is the quarterback. He's got a pro set type with boy split wide, but everything goes to Bernier.
No, Bernier's got some
Nope,
room.
it's not. Yeah, it is Bernier. And he will get a bunch, but not enough, as they get down to the Seagull 28. Clock is still running, and down to under a minute now, about 55 and counting.
Yeah, we mentioned passing-wise, 5 games, he's only thrown 19 times.
Yeah.
So that's not a very good average. Only completed 4, so he's about 25% in the passing department. I know he threw a touchdown pass to Bernier in the Boothbay game.
Uh-huh. Well, they called a timeout down there to stop the clock. Of course, was running down. We've got 48 seconds left, and we're looking at a third and about 5 at the Beach 28-yard line.
Yeah, 48.2. We want to emphasize the .2 there.
Yeah, that's right. You know, he might come back with a full can. Maybe he
hopefully he
was
did.
trading in your can of
I'm
soda.
not sure I want him to come back.
No.
To those weird grunting noises there. I don't know.
No.
Oh.
Mark said he thought it was us making the noise.
There's
We
3
weren't
of us
making the
shaking
noise.
our heads. No.
Yeah, ventriloquist.
No, he was from another county. There's no question about it.
Where is he? He may be coming back, boy.
We'll never make it.
Just probably headed for the bus. That's going to bring him back.
Well, the clouds have all floated behind us over here, and they're blocking out the sun right now, but at least there's no look for any kind of rain. It's 3rd down and 5 as we go back to the football game. Finally, Maxim is hit as he's about
That's
to
a fumble,
throw.
Raj.
It is a fumble, and it's recovered, I think, by Winthrop.
Yeah, you know, if the Beach picks that up, they're going for 7 more.
Yep. They had 2 or 3 boys looking for it.
You know, I was about to comment while Maxim was going back there. Out of 19 times he's thrown, he's thrown 7 interceptions. So I have a feeling he's only thrown when he's really had to throw and where there's been a lot of pressure put on and only in crucial situations, which is this right here.
Sure. 10 seconds went off the clock on that play. We're down to 38 now. And another timeout on the field.
And it's going to be 4th down and about a bunch, about 13 or 14.
Mm-hmm.
So a loss of about, what, 8?
Yeah. 4th down and about 13 or so. Yeah, be just about 8 yards.
38 seconds, 38.1 seconds, and another timeout was called.
Mm-hmm.
They'll get one more shot at it. They're not really a threat to pass.
And they're 4th down, and they're ready to go. So we're ready to go as well as Mark fights his way through the railings and the bodies. Bernie on the other side is found by Bickford.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And that will take care of that. The Beach will take over at their own 40-yard line. Bickford checking with Bernier to make sure he's okay.
Now, 33 seconds left. I don't know if the Beach is going to just sit on this one. They may try a couple throws here. They got a 15-0 lead, but Hubbard's hooked up real well so far with DuBois.
Yep.
For a couple long gains that led to 2 touchdowns by Dave Gerard. So I wouldn't put past the Beach just laying down here. I think they have nothing to lose. You know, going back. You never know. They set Gerard out here to the left.
Handoff is inside. Short gain, couple of yards.
That could be a setup play because they did call timeout right here with 28.1 left.
That's right, they did. That was Ralph for a couple, Ralph DuBois.
They could be setting up a bigger play here. They still have time to use their 2 or 3 plays coming up. Because they don't want to make a mistake here neither, though. They will get the ball back in the 3rd quarter, and they'll also have a 15-0 lead to come out.
Lots of timeouts here at the end of this game, first half rather, in the last minute. Both teams have taken 2 or 3. They have them to take, and they're using them all up here.
You know, looking at the playoff picture too, Roger,
Yeah.
we got 2 weeks left after this week, and there are other teams playing each other, which could affect things. I know Jay Livermore Falls is the last game of the season. That's their rivalry. And right now, the way it stands, I think 4 teams that would look to be in it would be Lisbon, Madison, Old Orchard, and Jay could easily be in the third spot,
night, right?
you know, or move up to third.
Yep.
So it's going to be interesting. Could be 4 teams. Those 4 teams that we're looking at.
Don looks to throw, finds Adams. Adams puts his knee down, though, right at the 50.
And has a first down.
Oh, he wanted to come back the other way, you know. And he would have had a lot of room. But the knee went down, and that's that. So it's a first down at the 50-yard line with 22 seconds left and another timeout.
And Don Dubois looks a lot sharper throwing the football here in the first half, Raj. He's been on the money mostly, even the plays that were incomplete.
Yep.
A couple of them were right around the area, though, so he's definitely got the passing touch this afternoon. Like you said, 22.5 left, and he's throwing the ball, seems to be throwing the ball well. Why not?
Why not?
Give him a chance to throw? They got another first down, so they can use at least 3 more plays here. Get close enough, and a field goal's not even out of question from here. I mean, not from here, but if they get close enough, they could add a few more points on.
Okay, we got a first down. Let's see if the Seagulls go back to the air. As they split Adams down at this side of the field, the bottom of the screen. It's Gerard with a lot of room. David looking for a block.
Blocking right here.
Gets one. Partially. He's free. Look out. David cuts back.
He's in.
All the way for Dave Gerard. 50 yards, Andy.
And boy, did he make that look pretty while he was going down there. He was putting on some, I'll tell you, he was putting on some Sports Center moves there.
It was a clinic.
Beautiful, beautiful
how to run
bit
the
of running.
ball.
We're going to give him a 49-yard run.
Yeah, it's good enough for me. That's where the marker still stands. 49 yards.
Told you, he was just warming up earlier. That time he did the old soft shoe right down the field.
21-0 as we get ready for a 2-point attempt. Don will throw to the corner, looking for Hubbard, and caught by Hubbard.
He was double-teamed.
Took it right out of the kid's hands.
Double-teamed on the play. Jerry Hubbard's having himself a nice first half.
Beautiful. 8.6 seconds left on this clock. We're in the first half, and our score, Old Orchard Beach 23 and Winthrop nada. How many yards for Dave so far? Have you got it figured out?
All right,
I'm sorry to put the pressure on you.
No, it's all right. It's okay. I'm still looking for my can.
Yeah.
About 106, 105 yards.
Okay. Well, he's off to the right start. 100 yards per half is just about right. Bernier tries to come back upfield. Stopped at the 33.
Enough time for one more play. 3.5 seconds left.
Yep.
Usually when you know things are going well defensively is when the Orchard players are picking up the Winthrop players off the ground. That's when you know that's been a good defensive effort.
Shaking their hands, patting them on the back.
Patting them on the backs.
You know, tell them they'll meet them at the dance tonight, stuff like that.
Well, one more play.
And look for Bernier to run it up the middle. Or something. No, how about this? Maxim says, I can...
Oh, he's collared. He was collared.
Well, we've completed one half of play, boys and girls, and from Winthrop, it's Old Orchard Beach 23 and Winthrop nothing. And Andy and I will be back after a short break. We'll give you all the stats, some very interesting chatter, and the second half right after this.
Nothing is tastier than fresh peaches, and Peaches Deli, 88 Saco Avenue, Old Orchard Beach, guarantees the freshness, quality, and homemade goodness of all of their food. Any time is a great time to enjoy a delicious specialty pizza or one of an almost unlimited variety of overstuffed subs. Call ahead and your order will be ready when you arrive. And be sure to pick up your favorite beverages, snacks, and Megabuck tickets. For homemade freshness and quality, nothing beats the fresh taste of Peaches. Guaranteed.
At Soccer Redemption Center, redemption is our only business, so we give you the best service around. At Soccer Redemption, we accept any quantity of returnables. We trust your honest pre-count. You won't stand in long lines. In fact, if you have young children or are disabled, we'll come to your car. And if your organization plans a bottle drive, team up with Soccer Redemption. We'll give you 10% above their value and park our trailer for collection at your location or ours. So if you plan a bottle drive, call Soccer Redemption at 283-8900 today.
And we're ready to begin the second half here as we look at the clock and just about ready to go. Andy's got all the stats for the first half and kind of interesting stuff.
All right, well, before you get up off your seat, I'll do Winthrop's. 24 yards rushing, 0 for 1 passing.
And now for the beach.
That's it. Now for the real story. 127 yards rushing, 102 of those by Dave Gerard. There were 3 for 6 in the passing department for 45 yards, 2 of those being to Jerry Hubbard. And 172 total yards to 24 total yards so far in the first half. Recap the scoring, which we always do while the captains are meeting at the midfield. First quarter, 5:39 left. Dave Gerard, 19-yard run. Parker with the kick, 7-0 to Beach. Second quarter, 5:06 left, 32-yard run by Gerard. Gerard 2-point conversion run. It was 15-0. Then with 8.6 seconds left, 49-yard run by Dave Gerard. 2-point pass from Dubois to Hubbard. And at halftime, we stand at 23 for the Beach and nothing for the Winthrop Ramblers.
And looking down, Andy, while the captains were meeting there, we see Todd Polk is out of his pads and is just wearing his jacket. So he's done for the day. Injured earlier in the first half and obviously waiting for next week before he can play again. But the Seagulls are in a comfortable situation here with a 23-0 lead at the end of the first half.
Yeah, and Winthrop, they'll be also getting the ball to their, they'll be setting up on their left, I believe. Winthrop will be kicking the ball from right to left. So the Beach not only has that 23-point lead, but they'll get the football in the first half. Trying to move it up to 5-1. Opening day loss, wasn't it, to Wells?
Yes. Up
in Wells on a Saturday morning. Played Wells real tough, too, that game. And since then, they've reeled off 4 in a row, looking for 5, and they've looked very impressive.
Yeah, we opened our season actually with a preseason game. It was more of an exhibition.
Right.
Against Kenny Bunk when the two teams just play for the Bowie year after year. And so we did that with Kenny Bunk, and the Beach was successful that day. Then the following weekend, of course, as Andy said, the official beginning of the season against Wells. A game that was scoreless at the end of the first half. Wells was able to score a couple of touchdowns in the third quarter and hang in there to win it. But since that day, it's been all Seagulls for us. There's more fans cross in front of Mark's lens. And the kickoff is returned by the Beach out to about their own 40-yard line. And they will go on offense from there, right at the 40.
First and 10 for the Beach. You know, looking ahead a little bit at the Lisbon game, don't want to look too much ahead, but next week they play Lisbon. They scrimmaged Lisbon this year, and they beat them 13-0.
Correct.
Just to look at that as so they do. Those teams will know something firsthand about each other when they play each other.
Well, the first carry gets absolutely nothing for the Seagulls here.
Nope, nothing there.
Nothing happening. In fact, you kind of think that Lisbon game next week is going to be the game, don't you?
I think so. I think that's going to be a tougher, not that Madison will be an easy one,
right.
But I think Lisbon's the better of the two football teams. They played better most of the season against opposing teams. And they were one of the preseason picks, to be right up there.
Right, and that scrimmage was very, very tough.
Yeah, that was a tough scrimmage, and it was early, and naturally it was preseason, so can't really go by that.
The handoff is inside, and that's Ralph Dubois with the ball, limping a little bit as he comes back to the huddle. Short gain, and we're looking at a third and about 6 or 7. With the ball at the Old Orchard Beach 43. As we've just begun the third quarter of our game here this afternoon. It is cooling down. as we're just about 4 o'clock in the afternoon now. We had a late start, as we've mentioned, starting about 2:30 or so. And as the afternoon gets longer, it gets colder. Don Dubois over the 45, picks up another 3 maybe. But it'll be 4th down and a good 3 yards at least, maybe 4. So the Seagulls should be punting out of this field position.
Actually, halfway through the second quarter, this was only a 7-0 football game, if you remember. For some reason, 2 pass conversions, pass plays from Dubois to Hubbard, and on the ensuing play, Gerard's get 2 long runs out of it for touchdowns. Amazing how those 2 plays just kind of set it up the run and changed things completely.
Sure did. And there's the punt coming off Dave Gerard's foot. Nobody deep for Winthrop. The ball bounces around and now is fielded by Don Dubois at about the 22-yard line. So once again, Winthrop is pinned deep in their own territory as they have to try to mount a 78-yard offense. And they haven't shown us, at least so far today, that they're capable of doing that.
No, they're like we said, they're 24 yards rushing, and I have them at 0 for 1 passing, and they've only thrown 20 passes now the whole season long, and they're into game number 6. So they're not a passing team, and they can't afford to be down by 3 touchdowns against a good football team.
And if you'll recall, at the end of the first half, following a punt that went nowhere, they were in excellent field position and were able to do nothing with it. Now Maxim,
yeah, we got a
ball
fumble,
out.
Raj.
What do we got? Fumble, and yes, recovered by the Seagulls at the 22 or 3-yard line of Winthrop. Another big break for the Old Orchard Beach Seagulls. Make it the 24-yard line, and they go back on offense.
Yeah, another fumble. It's 2 that they've lost now, I believe. They've had 3 in the game. They recovered 1. So there's 2 of them, and this time it's in a spot where they may pay the price here. 24-yard line, the Beach takes over in Winthrop's end. 9:40 to go now in quarter number 3.
Don Dubois looking to throw, is headed for the corner, looking for Jerry, and almost intercepted. Good coverage downfield, and Maxim was down there with him, wanted to come up with that interception, but it's an incomplete pass.
Yeah. If he throws that ball underneath just a little bit, Raj, that's 6 more points.
Yep, Jerry has
Hubbard had the inside track that time, but the ball just kind of sailed over the head. And actually, Dubois has been around his target most of the afternoon. We haven't seen too many wild throws.
Oh, he's been there. 2nd and 10. Again, we're at the 24-yard line, so Seagulls are in a threatening position. 2 backs. Billy Adams gonna go wide, has room, tries to cut back inside, will get out over the 20-yard line. Looked like it might go for more than it did, but it picks up another 5 or so. And we're looking at a 3rd down.
3rd and about 6.
Yep.
About to pick up about 4 for Adams.
Okay.
Trying to cut on the right side. That time it looked like a possible fake reverse to Gerard as he was coming back this way.
I think he had that option, too.
Right, he did have the option, but he saw probably a seam there and tried to cut it inside. Yeah, he got 4 yards out. So Adams replaces Todd Polk, who was injured in the first half now, as in the backfield. He's
and it's recovered by Winthrop, and they'll get the ball back at their own 19-yard line.
So that's actually the first turnover that the Beaches had all afternoon, which is good news.
Good point.
And it's deep in the Winthrop end, so it's really no threat at the moment. Ball at the 19, so it's kind of a return me, give me kind of a turnover. And with 8:46 left to go in quarter number 3, the Ramblers take over 81 yards away from pay dirt, Raj.
Yeah, that's all they need to do. Just 81 yards. And if they can do it 3 or 4 times, they might win this game. Out of the eye, power eye formation, deep back is Bernier. Bernier cuts back over the 20, gets a couple, 3 maybe. And we're looking at a 2nd and long.
Yeah, gain of about 4.
Yep, so we're looking at 2nd and 6, let's make it, as it gets out to about the 23-yard line. Maxim is the quarterback. He's number 16. Bernier, number 33, is the consistent back.
Yeah, just to show you how many yards Bernier got, Rod.
Yep.
Maxim in the first half had minus 11 yards rushing, and the only other runner was Bernier, and they had 24 yards total. And Bernier did have some minus yardage also.
Bernier coming off a wing, comes back, has a little hole, and may get the first down. It'll be very close.
I think he's got it.
Adams, Polk, Tucci rather, and who else? Don Dubois in on the tackle.
Well, they're calling for the chains. I think he's got it, though.
They've called the first down. The referee signals move it, so they do.
Comes with 7:59 left in quarter number 3 as the clock stopped just temporarily while they move the chains over.
Winthrop had run up to the line very quickly, wanting to go almost no huddle, but had to wait for the movement of the chains. So it's first down, and they're on 29. Bernier hit and dropped.
Yeah. Good, Gerard, yeah. Good takedown by Gerard that time, forcing him not to get outside the way he wanted. Looked like that play could have gone for more if he breaks that tackle. So a gain of about a yard on the play.
We're on the 30. It's 2nd and 9. And a timeout is being called. Let's call a timeout over here as well. We'll be back with more third quarter play right after this message.
Classic American fare with a continental flair, come to Silver Spoons, Southern Maine's casual dining alternative.
Maine Glass is the first place you should call when you're looking for expert auto glass and sunroof installations. Our trained professionals are NGA certified technicians, equipped with the latest tools to do the job right for you. Our customer service staff can handle your insurance claim, arrange a time convenient to your schedule, with local pickup and delivery of your vehicle if needed. And in most cases, we can do the work the same day that you call. At Maine Glass, when we say we do it right for you, we mean it. Right for you.
John Gettinger comes into the lineup. He's number 61, replacing Billy Adams, who comes out for a pause. Defense is all up close to the line. Now Maxim changes a call. The handoff is to Bernier as he cuts inside his block and gets a nice gain. Brian Tucci, number 11, on top of him as he falls at the 35. Picks up 5, and we're looking at a third down and about 4 now, or a long 3. 23-0 is the score here in Winthrop, with the Seagulls comfortably ahead. And the Ramblers trying desperately to mount an offense, some kind of drive, anything at all to get themselves into this thing.
44, Raj.
I still don't know who he is.
Yeah, well, I know who he is now.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, I'm figuring it out, actually, by process of elimination here.
Okay.
Only because he seems to be, you know, one of the guys that's out there, like, punting and running, the other running back. I think it's Todd Blanche. That's the young man that Kurt... he's got he's right there up there, like 335 yards for the season rushing, just about as much as Bernier has, right. And I think they share the backfield duty, so it's Todd Blanche.
So Blanche is the boy is also going to be punting. He's number 44 on this 4th down, but they fake it, and
call.
There's a nice play. That's Maxim on the loose, and David Gerard finds him and drops him back at the beach 40-yard line.
Yeah, that's going to be a flag.
Going to tack on another 15, I'll bet, because of unnecessary roughness.
Yeah,
right?
About right near the bleachers.
Yeah.
I'll tackle him into the crowd.
Into the trees out there on the side.
That's Todd Blanche, yeah.
So the big play will get them down to the Seagull 40, and then they're going to tack on another 15, I would guess, from there. They walk it down to the Seagull 25, and now we've got a real break, a big break here for the Ramblers. That was an interesting play. The ball ended up in Bernier's hands, who hands it back to Maxim, goes the other way, and fools a lot of people. So it's 1st and 10 at the 25.
Yeah, you know, it had been 3 and out most of this game for Winthrop, so you think the Beach are probably sitting back expecting a punt. It's actually a good time to call it.
Maxim hangs on to the ball and is dropped for a gain of about 2 or 3. 2nd and 7, down to the 22-yard line.
It's another play they've been calling a lot. They sent the receiver in motion, probably to pick off the defensive end, so Maxim can cut inside and maybe gain some yards out of it. And he picks up about 3. We're down to 5 minutes and 20 seconds to go in quarter number 3, and the clock rolling along. If Winthrop's going to get back into this football game, this has to be the drive that they score on. 17 minutes left to go in the football game. They're down by 3 touchdowns.
Jason Bernia.
Bill Adams with the tackle. Man, Adams has to come out, Roger. I think he might have been shaken up a little. I'm not sure.
Well, we're down to the 20-yard line, looking at a 3rd down now in 5. That's Toll coming out of the lineup, number 32. Maxim, of course, quarterback, going back up.
Yeah, ball sits at, what, the 21-yard line?
Yes.
Of the Beach, you need to get down to... That's actually close to the 20. Nose of the football is probably touching the 20. Going to get down to about the 15-yard line with 4.5 minutes left in quarter number 3.
Third down play. Of course, they're in 2-down territory. Now there's a motion. Everybody jumps. What's the call? Offense or defense? Was he drawn off?
Well, it's going to be close to a 1st down if it was offside, but I think it might be a motion penalty.
It's against the Ramblers, and they're upset with that, but it'll set them back to the 25, and again, now it's 3rd and 10.
Yeah, instead of 2 plays to make 5 yards, now it's 3rd and long again, 3rd and 10. Clock still moving, and that's in the Beach's favor. 4 minutes and 10 seconds to go in quarter number 3. This is the biggest threat of the game for the Ramblers. They really haven't, I don't know if they've gotten into the Beach's territory up to now.
3rd down. Maxson looks to throw. Yes. Heads for the flat, and there's nobody there. Overthrew the intended receiver, and we think that's Brad Blanche. Although I think when Markey moved in on him, you were looking at his back, and it looked more like another Bernier, wasn't it? Yeah.
Okay.
And we think it may be, I think looking at it, Andy, could be Ben Bernier.
Okay.
Who was a... But anyway, whoever it is, he didn't get the pass, and it's 4th and 10. And let's see if they decide to throw again or come up with some other trick play on a 4th down and long. It's their biggest opportunity of the day. He throws over the middle and finds his receiver down to the 10-yard line. That'll be a 1st down, and that's that mysterious player once again.
It's a 15-yard connection, too, and a 1st down. And this is the best they've looked the whole game.
No doubt. So now they are seriously threatening, and let's see what the Seagull defense can do about this one. Out of the eye, the handoff to the tailback, Jason at Bernier, down to about the 8 or 9 yard line. Andy went out to find out who the guy was, and
it is Bernier.
It is the other Bernier. Okay. So,
I just don't know what this Blanche kid is, because he was listed as one of the top running backs on his team, and Kurt even talked about him in the pregame show.
No idea.
And there was no word that he was going to be out, so I just assumed it might have been him.
Sure. Well, we got a second and... Well, it's 2nd and goal, actually. And
yeah, they can't get a 1st down.
Right. We're down about the 9-yard line. Maxim calling signals, hands off to Jason, who is caught by Bickford coming across in a nice play.
Might have gotten a couple.
Yeah, a couple yards falling forward, basically. So it'll be a 3rd and maybe 7. Just about 7. Maxim getting his play from his coach. sun breaks out again a little bit here this afternoon.
And the clock still moves. 2 minutes and 38 seconds, and the clock's still moving. To go in quarter number 3, if you just joined us, the Beach 23 and the Winthrop Ramblers nothing.
I formation. Bernier is the tailback. Maxim wants to throw. He's going to the flat. He's got his receiver. That's a kid named Glidden, number 22, Ryan Glidden. He's short of the touchdown, but he'll put it down at about the 1-yard line.
Good hit. I don't know if it was Don Dubois or who it was that came in kind of far away here to pick that up at about the 2-yard line by the looks of it.
Brad Blanche, by the way, and he has just checked into the game, number 34. I think it's the first time I see him today. He has just checked into the lineup.
That's interesting.
Yeah, and he's going to be the up back in this I formation. It's Jason Bernier, touchdown. Well, the Ramblers finally made it work, Andy.
Yep, they rambled themselves all the way downfield on a nice fake punt call. You got to give them credit for that. They had to use that. They had to pull some tricks out. It's almost Halloween. You might as well pull some tricks out of your hat here. And they got them to sell a treat out of it.
23-6 is our score now, and I would guess they'll go for 2. They need to get all they can get, and they are setting up for 2. And Maxim will hang on to the ball, throw to the corner, caught for the 2.
Well, when things go right, they go right, don't they?
Right.
The bounces just happen.
That was Gavin Gillespie, number 81, and it just fell into his hands. He's a tall boy, about 6'2", junior, and they pick up the 2 points. So 1:44 now on our clock, and the.
And strangely as it seems, Raj, they're still in this football game.
They sure are.
We've got 1:44 left in this quarter. We've got 12 more minutes to go. The Beach can't find themselves to be too complacent here. You know, with a 23-8 lead, sometimes a good thing like that will just feed off each other, and you know, they'll just keep it going. So I think it's going to be a big offensive series here for the Beach coming up, Roger, to see how maybe the defense reacts also by Winthrop.
Yeah, we've seen this before. You know, this defensive team now, the Winthrop defense is going to be all fired up for this next series, and the Beach is going to have to survive that for a little bit. And if they can develop any kind of offense of their own, then usually the defense slows down a little bit and it all evens out. Anyway, it's 23-8 our score now, and the Winthrop Ramblers are not necessarily back in it, but they certainly are making some noises, and that's good. And it makes it for a more interesting game.
And that could be anybody's ball.
And it still is. And it's down and by the Beach. I don't have the player yet, but it's down on the 40-yard line. And it's number 14. Oh, well, son of a gun. Somebody on the kickoff team. Billy Burke. Bill Burke is a senior, and one of the Burke brothers.
Interesting. I thought if one of the Winthrop players had just jumped up for that one, he might have had the football.
Yeah. Well, the Seagulls have a nice first down situation. Good field position to get going here at their own 40-yard line. But again, look for a fired-up Winthrop defense now.
I think this series 2 of downs is going to tell a lot about the rest of this football game.
That's Ralph, and he's going to move forward. About 4, and flags fly.
Late flag.
Yes.
Usually means it's holding on the offense.
And it is holding on the offense.
No, that was kind of a late flag.
That's the 3rd or 4th time that play has been called against the Beach this afternoon.
If it's anything that's really haunted them this year, or there's been a lot of penalty calls like that, holding or clipping, just seems like they get penalized an awful lot, and I think it's something they need to really work on.
It's 10 yards from the spot of the foul, so it moves the ball to the 31. It'll be a repeat first down and 19.
Right. That only helps the defense even get fired up even more.
Sure. Jerry Hubbard wide at the top of your screen. Brian Tucci split at the bottom of your screen. But it's Dave Gerard coming out. Look at him go. He's out in the open, and that's where you don't want him if you're playing defense. He's still on his feet. I think he stepped out of bounds.
Yeah, they're going to call him out.
Holy cow.
Well, what a run.
What a run. He's down to the 23-yard line. Fantastic balance and just a lot of desire, great speed. Does it week after week.
47 yards. Yeah, we have it at. Dave Gerard.
He does it in big chunks, doesn't he? And that's the way you definitely is a candidate for 2,000 yards the way he's going. Anyway, that takes a lot of the morale out of this defense.
149 yards rushing I have Dave Gerard.
Right. Hubbard comes back over here to set. We've got a first down at the 23. That's Ralph still bowling forward on a nice run. He does what he does extremely well. He's the short yard man that you want, running up between the tackles, just straight ahead power, and he gets you what you need. A good 5 yards on first down is excellent. 2nd and 5 for the Beach. And we're at the 18-yard line, 17 maybe.
Yeah, every time Ralph's gotten a football this afternoon, Roger, I think he's averaged about 4 yards. If you take in and that's what you would need from your fullback, that 3 or 4 yards at a time.
Sure.
This could be the last play also of the quarter. We're down to 35 seconds and running.
Out of an eye set, and that's Gerard looking to cut back inside. Not much there. We'll get a yard maybe.
And it's going to bring up 3rd and about 5.
Those are the tough yards for David when he is forced to cut back to the inside where the flow is, and usually runs up against the traffic, and he did in that case.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to run off another play.
No, they're standing there, and they're just going to let this third quarter run out. We're down to 5 seconds or so and counting. So we have completed officially right now 3 quarters of play from Winthrop. And our score, the Ramblers of Winthrop, the Seagulls of Old Orchard Beach, 23. And the Ramblers, 8. We'll be back with the 4th quarter right after this pause.
Hi, this is Bill O'Neill, owner of Bill O'Neill's House of Rock and Roll, Route 1 in Saco. For the past 7 years, we've been your local music store. No need to leave town to find the music you want. Great selection, good prices every day on CDs, tapes, and records. Be sure to check out our large selection of used CDs with over 1,000 titles to choose from. We're open daily, 10 till 8, Sundays, noon to 5. Major credit cards accepted. Come in. Bill O'Neill's House of Rock and Roll, Route 1, Saco.
Nothing's easier.
It's the look you've been looking for.
Nothing's easier.
It's the best paint in the business.
Nothing's easier than Easy Elegance.
Electric colors, brighter whites. Indoors, Easy Elegance paints makes it easy to brighten a home, while American Classic exterior paints make a house a home.
Nothing's easier than Easy Elegance.
All right, we have 12 minutes left to play here, and our score is 23-8 in favor of the Seagulls. They have the ball. They're down there around the, where are we? About the 17-yard line, yep. And it's
3rd and
3rd and 5. Okay.
I said this, I think, will be the series right here to determine what's going to happen.
He's got Jerry Hubbard split down here.
Fumble,
but there's a fumble.
And I think it's Winthrop.
It sure is. And there's Blanche. You've been mentioning about, we've been looking for. He comes up with the ball.
Yeah, so 2 turnovers now by the Beach, Raj. 2 fumbles. And let's see what happens here. They got a long way to go, but if they mount some kind of an offense, they're going to have plenty of time.
It's getting interesting.
And I told you, it's not sewn in yet.
Nope, for sure. So the fumble, and right away, Winthrop back on offense.
Defensively, I think the Beach really has to get pumped up again here.
Jason Bernier looking to go outside, does, and now he's dropped.
Yeah, he'll pick up, though, about 5 or 6.
Yes, he will.
So it's a good run by Bernier. See where they mark it. Yeah, going to give him 6 yards on the play.
About the 24-yard line. And Bernier checks out of the lineup for the moment.
He's carried the ball 17 times so far.
Yeah, he's a workhorse.
He's been the workhorse for them.
Deep back now will be Glidden, number 22. The up back is Blanche, 34. That's Glidden. And he's still on, now he's hit and drop. So he'll pick up a yard, maybe. Just over the 25. Nice tackle in there by, I think it was Jerry Hubbard that found him.
3rd and about 3, maybe a long 2. So big 3rd down play for Winthrop here. They don't have the offense to get into it in a hurry, so they've got to kind of work their way downfield, and 10 minutes and 40 seconds left in the 4th quarter.
Right.
They need to score just about every drive they get.
Maxim still on his feet. Now he's found. Now he gets away. He'll have the first down and more as he heads for the sideline and is out of bounds. But he comes out to about the 40-yard line on a very nice run by the quarterback, Steve Maxim, to the 41-yard line, I guess. Yep, and that'd be a big first down.
Yeah, about a 15-yard run.
Sure.
By Maxim. He's had 2 runs now in this half, 20 and 15, one of them being on that fake punt. Seems like that fake punt has really turned their football game right around.
Sure
That's
has.
what they needed to pull out a trick play like that.
One big play. First down, Maxim to Bernia. Jason will go over the 45.
Yeah, another 5-yard pickup.
They're getting them in little chunks, but they're chunks nevertheless, and they come upfield.
Well, it seems like when you have a big play like that, everybody blocks a little better, too. And everything just seems to fall, balls tip in other people's hands, you know, the right way. We've seen that work for the Beach also, but at the moment, we got 10 minutes left in the 4th quarter, and the Ramblers putting to get a nice drive here.
They've got a second and make it 4. This is Ryan Glidden, number 22, who is hit. He will not get the first down. His progress will get him to about the 49. He'll be short by about a yard and a half.
C.T. Broderick is one of them making a stop. I think Parker may have been on it, too.
Big C.T. Broderick.
And we may have him on at the end of the show.
Yep, big defensive tackle. Plays almost exclusively on defense for the Seagulls.
3rd and 1.
Another big 3rd down play. Maxim checks off, I think, at the line. He hands off to
he didn't get
his brother, I assume, and he will not get the first down.
But you know, they have to go for it. They really do. They can't punt from here.
They're at the 50-yard line. I think you're right.
Yeah, the 9 minutes to go on the clock moving. They're down by 2 scores, and they only got a yard to go. And I think there's a Beach getting up kind of slow. Their Du Bois is getting up a little slow, but now they run the clock.
We're under 9 minutes left in this game, and
4th and less than a yard.
They got to go for it. You're right. Beach defense all comes up tight. Only Gerard holding back. Bernia, he's got the first down. He breaks loose. That's Tucci after him and gets him, but he'll be down to the 25-yard line.
Couple players down at midfield colliding. Raj, do you know why that play sprung free also? Is because everybody was lined in tight, and as soon as he broke the plane, there was really nobody back down there to contain him.
The deep back, the only deep back I called it was Gerard. It was really Tucci, and it was Brian Tucci was able to get across field to catch up to him and stop him. But they're down to the 25-yard line, and they're making this a very interesting game, Andy.
Oh,
very
definitely.
Interesting.
I thought that the next drive would really tell a lot about the game, and if the Beach could have closed it in there, you know, it's a 25-point lead.
That's right.
Instead, turns over a fumble, now they're driving.
They have a first down. Jason Bernier, hole in the middle, and he gets another big 8 or 9. Driving to about the 17-yard line.
No, they seem to be running at will now. They have a lot more fire. This has been a good 4th quarter, and the end of the 3rd quarter for the Ramblers. Actually, it's been a good second half.
Second and a long yard. It has been a good second half, and we're down to 8 minutes now and counting. Seagull defense has got to come up big, and they got to do it on this drive. Maxim to Bernier. Bernier up the middle will be getting the first down. Over the 15. Forward progress will get him down closer to the 12.
First down.
Yep.
First about the 13, 12 or 13, right?
Yep.
Right around the middle.
About the middle of that area.
7 minutes and 40 seconds to go, and the clock running in quarter number 4. They really got to score here on this drive.
Oh, they do, absolutely. And Maxim following his couple of blocks coming out this way. He's caught, but he'll be inside the 10.
Yeah, he gets about 4 yards in the play, maybe 5.
Gettinger pursuing. Don Dubois coming up to hold him back. He gets about the 8-yard line, we'll call it, and it's a first down. I'll make it second. I'm sorry, second and about 5, Andy said.
No, Raj, other than that 47-yard run by Gerard, the Beach only had 7 yards in the second half of offense,
Sure.
and I think Winthrop's gone over the 100-yard mark.
They've turned it around in the second half, and it usually goes the other way in a Beach game.
Oh, big play inside by Chris Hall, 72.
Yeah, that's Hall. Nice hit. Tough in the middle. Along with Broderick. And I think Darling had a hand in there as well.
Maybe gave him a yard or so. It's going to be third and about 3 or 4. They need to get around the 2 or 3 yard line, and Winthrop calls, I think the Beach calls timeout. And they do. With 6:31 left in the fourth quarter, the Beach leads this thing 23-8.
Let's take a short break ourselves. We'll come back to see how this drive works out right after this pause.
Fritz's, a landmark in Arundel known for quality used tires and rims, now carries in stock 2 lines of new tires. Fritz's is proud to have an exclusive on the Tribune tire, reasonably priced with the manufacturer's 60,000-mile warranty. New tires at Fritz's are on the rim and out the door for one price, including mounting, balancing, and valve stem. Fritz's is also your undercar specialist, turning rotors and drums, doing custom exhaust, welding, brakes, shocks, and struts. Fritz's, 25 years in business and still getting bigger and better.
When you're hungry, nothing beats a delicious homemade brick oven pizza, except 2 brick oven pizzas. And that's exactly what you get at 2-for-1 brick oven pizza. And what a selection of brick oven subs, steak sandwiches, homemade calzones, traditional Italian dinners, as well as garden fresh salads, plus your favorite Coca-Cola products. So grab your appetite, a hungry friend, and drop in or call the Palumbo family at 2-for-1 brick oven pizza.
Okay, we're back, ready to go. It's a third down, kids. The ball is on the 6-yard line, and they've got to get down to about the 2.5 for a first down. They're going to go with Bernier, and he's not going to get it, at least not on this shot, but he's going to have one more try. 4th down coming up. Parker in on the tackle. Gettinger, number 61, also there. I think Dave Glode may have had a hand on it, too. So it's a gain of
about a yard.
Yeah, maybe.
To the 5, close to a yard, half a yard.
So it's 4th down. They need about 2.5, maybe 3 for the first down,
right.
And, of course, 5 for the touchdown.
And with 6 minutes left in the fourth quarter, they have to score here.
Big play both ways. Out of the eye. Maxim wants to throw. Does. Has a guy and a touchdown.
That's Gillespie, I think.
It sure is. The pass is complete.
I think Maxim is becoming quite the passer here. 5-yard pass play. I'll tell you, there's still this football game. I knew that drive that happened down here, if the Beach scores, they put it away.
Well, it's 23-14, Andy, and now let's see if they go for the 2. I would assume they would. That will put them within 7 points if they're successful. If they're not, a 9-point difference is where they're forced into 2 different scores. So this is a huge attempt here as they go for the 2. And what do we got? they brought the tee out. Yeah, it looks like they may be going.
And then they'll be behind by 8 if they score here. But they need this kick.
That pass was completed. Andy was correct. It was Gavin Gillespie, number 81.
Yeah.
And he caught a 2-point conversion earlier, a pass on the first touchdown. Now he gets the second touchdown himself.
Hey, it's been all Winthrop in the second half. They have the only 2 scores that they own, and they've controlled the bulk of the yardage. The only run was by that 47-yard run by Gerard. Otherwise, the Beats has been shut down to 7 yards of offense just besides that.
Well, now it looks like they're going for the 1, and it'll be Bernier. No, they fake it. Now Maxim. Maxim wants to throw, does throw, and it's
intercepted. And we're going to get a flag, though, so hold on.
Hang on, boys and girls.